Storytime at the Roo Bus, a podcast for the festival community. I'm your host, Sharla.
And I'm Daniel, and it's been a while since we've done this.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so part of the reason is there's just not a lot going on when it comes to like Bonnaroo and some of the other festivals that a lot of us go to. But also, I had been honestly distracted by baseball for the past month.
Yeah, I got a little tied up with some games there.
Yeah, so in like the evenings when me and Charlotte would normally record, there was a lot of tense Braves baseball playoff games going on, and that kind of had me distracted. And I didn't schedule anybody for calling in to be on the show, and didn't plan much out for the show. So yeah, that's on me. I got distracted for a very long time because the Braves ended up winning the World Series.
They did. I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that?
I mean,
you were there.
We
were there at Game 3. We kind of tailgated outside. That was an experience.
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, Daniel and I both grew up watching the Braves. I mean, we're both big, giant Braves fans.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I'm one of those people that grew up watching TBS on summer nights at my grandma's house. So, yeah, I go way back, and I'm going to give my age a little bit with that.
I mean, same, exactly the same, so...
But, yeah, I'm not a huge sports ball person.
No.
Like, college football, I honestly don't care about as much nowadays. Like, I kind of like Auburn, but I'm just happy if anybody I know has their team winning or whatever. NFL, maybe I'll watch the Super Bowl or have a game on for 5 minutes. Basketball, college basketball is pretty cool by the time you get to March. But baseball is something that's almost year-round for me. I am just obsessed.
Same. Sports ball, yeah. I do not like any other kind of sports, but Atlanta Braves, that's the only sport that...
And you know, it's funny because like I've seen so many different like Braves hats and jerseys and such at Bonnaroo over the years. I know there's a lot of others. We have a lot of people in the Atlanta area that come to Roo every year, and people all over the Southeast that love the Braves because they grew up like we did watching them on TBS.
Hey, we saw some Atlanta Braves merchandise at Bonnaroo.
Somebody once had some Braves paraphernalia that was used for things, and I was just like... That was a memory that stuck with me. Yeah.
We saw that like our very first year at Bonnaroo.
Yeah. I'm like, this is that kind of place. Okay. Hey, something else happened since we recorded last. We had a lot of Bonnaroo friends over for a Halloween party here at our place.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was very fun. So we did a little Instagram live. Brooklyn did anyways. And who all was here? Russ/Taco from the What Podcast was
Lord
here.
Taco, yeah. Russ with the bus. He brought the bus. It was parked in front of our house. Kevin from Camp Red Roo was here. Yeah, he drove up from Birmingham.
Our buddy Eric is just up the road. He came down. He was dressed as Roy Kent.
Yes.
He's there.
When he came in, everyone started singing, he's there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was pretty gone. Was that a real beard or a fake beard that he had on?
I really couldn't tell.
I really couldn't tell. But yeah, we had a whole crew out here, and Charlotte, you haven't heard this, but we got kind of tipsy and recorded a little something for the podcast. Do you want to hear it?
I did not hear it. I think I came in at the very, very end.
Yeah, we were kind of messed up, and we had the Braves World Series game on, and why don't we just play it right now? You want to hear it?
I want to hear it, yes.
Hello,
and welcome to both of our podcasts.
This is the Spice Podcast.
The Spice?
A podcast for Fremen. By Fremen.
The podcast must flow.
The podcast must flow.
Okay. Taco, we should talk about this. Oh, also, we have Zach here. Zach is another good friend from Chattanooga. Goes to Roo every year. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing pretty all right now.
We have some non-Roo friends here. We have Brad. How are you doing, Brad?
Hello.
Brad's here in Huntsville. We thought it was a silly idea to record a little something while we're tipsy. How are you doing, Taco? He's in a gator onesie over here.
Actually, it's a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a gator this whole time.
We're an endangered species.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we should also point out that the Braves just won the third game. They're one game away from winning the World Series.
Braves are one game away.
Yes.
Doing a sport.
Yes. And here's Ada. Ada, come here. Ada. Here's our friend Ada. Ada goes to Bonnaroo. Hey, we're recording a little clip for the podcast.
Hi.
How are you doing, Ada?
I'm good.
You're good? Yes. All right. So,
That's all? Okay.
Taco just saw Dune today.
I did.
What are your drunk initial thoughts?
Fucking drape runners.
What?
Fucking drape runners.
Yes. Wait. How did you feel about it ending once Paul got to the Fremen?
I was not prepared for it to end. I was like, wait, that's it? Like, it didn't even feel like 2.5 hours have gone by.
Would you have sit there for another 3 hours for part 2?
Absolutely.
Yes, hell yes.
Yeah.
Zach, you need to go see Dune. It's awesome.
Yeah, I really need to see Dune, not only because of the hype surrounding, just the series in general, but like Denis Villeneuve, the director.
Hell yeah, yeah.
He's done Blade Runner 2049, Prisoners, Arrival, Sicario.
Oh yeah.
And he did that movie Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I haven't seen that one.
Prisoners was the very first movie of his that I ever saw, and I was impressed just because
he's a great visual director.
Yeah, his cinematography with whoever's working the cinematography.
Yeah,
most of the time it's been
freaking Roger Deakins. Yeah.
Deakins.
He did Skyfall, my favorite James Bond movie.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite era of Bond as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Daniel Craig Bond guy.
Did you see the new one?
Not yet.
I want to see that one.
Still,
I liked it.
I'm gonna go see it.
I'm more of a Roger Moore fan.
Oh, old school.
Roger Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moore.
Hey, so we're just going through a litany of random things here. You saw Modest Mouse, right?
I did see Modest Mouse at Shaky Knees last weekend.
Yeah. Our buddy Amanda, mine and Charlotte's friend Amanda, came here and she said that she saw Modest Mouse in Nashville and they sucked. But I thought they were great in Huntsville, but like the sound of the place that I saw them at, like Mars Music Hall, was not a good sounding place.
I don't think they sucked at Shaky Knees. I thought they were great.
They were good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only show I was really disappointed in was The Strokes.
Hey, here's Brooklyn. Brooklyn's here. We're recording a little clip for the podcast. How are you feeling?
Goodness, I am feeling fantastic. I have a motion because DJ Snave would like to intercept.
DJ Snave?
Yeah, DJ Snave.
Yeah, we didn't finish the DJ Catlow set. Would DJ Snave like to pick it up?
DJ Snave.
Yeah.
AKA Nick Snavely.
We had to come in here and all nerd out for the Braves winning.
The Braves were winning.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't shave your legs for this event.
Wait,
wasn't there like a Reba McEntire song or whatever? It was like, why'd I shave my legs for this?
I shaved my legs for this?
Yeah.
Did they win?
The Braves won.
One more fucking game, bitches! I'm sorry for my profanity. I am a very big Braves
Watch your profanity.
Big Braves fan here.
Yes.
Woo! Go Braves. We love you, Bonnaroo.
We just thought it would be funny. Hey, Ada has something to say. Yes.
I was just going to say this is probably going to be the most interesting podcast yet.
It is, yes. We were just recording a little bit and tag on or whatever.
I was going to say you should get Joseph.
Where the fuck is
Joseph? Yes. Joseph's going to have a whole episode to himself. Taco, do you have any closing thoughts for this insane tipsy clip?
Just once again, I want to say fucking Drape Runners, man.
Zach, anything?
You're
whatever y'all are going to be getting into this Halloween weekend, be safe. Have a great, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
But
love you so much, Taco.
Do something to keep it weird for this weekend. Halloween is
my favorite person in the world.
Weirdest time of the year.
Keep Austin weird. Keep Halloween
I
weird.
have a thought.
Charlotte has a thought.
I invited my accountant to the party.
And he came!
That was bad.
And he showed up.
Here he is, Brad.
I'm like Rick Moranis.
Do you have any closing thoughts or wisdom?
Deduct all your expenses.
Hey, wait. Hey, Brad, put in a good plug here. We're running a side project about electric cars.
Huntsville, it's a great way to learn more about EVs in Huntsville. Now we can help proliferate them in the area.
Yeah.
Huntsville, that's right.
He's not stopping until he meets Elon Musk himself. Do you want him to move the HQ from Austin to Huntsville?
There should be a gigafactory in Huntsville.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it to Zach to close this out. Give us some wisdom, Zach.
Let's see, some bits of wisdom.
Yes. No pressure.
Bits of wisdom. I don't know. Let's see.
Hey, wait.
I don't know. Man.
That's okay. That's okay. You were very wise in of itself.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yes. All right.
Wait, I did.
Yes.
With that bit of silence, there is this Zen aphorism I've heard once. And it's kind of ironic, but it can apply to a lot of situations. Silence is the one friend that does not betray.
Oh. So. Wait, can you tell me that as Hank Hill?
Oh, God.
Tell me that as Hank Hill.
Okay. Silence is the one friend that never betrays.
Now I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. All right, happy Roo. Oh my gosh, I didn't remember half of that. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Zach and Ada who were on that as well. Zach, he sounds like kind of like a low key guy, but he was having the time of his life at that.
Yeah.
He's come to all of our mini Roos, or just about everyone. I think he's been to everyone. Ada has as well. Oh man, that was a fun night. They camped out. Like Zach stayed in the bus that night, and Ada crashed on the couch, and we all went to IHOP the next morning.
It was great.
That was a fun time. Yeah, let's do that again sometime real soon. Those of you that were there and those of you in the area, talk to me. We will do that again real soon.
We got some plans.
Yes. Should we get to actual news a little bit? I think so.
News? Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the Black Friday sale that should supposedly be coming here in a few weeks.
I forgot all about that.
You did? Well, yeah, because Bonnaroo itself has been radio silent ever since they got
nobody
flooded.
has said a word, so...
Yeah, well, there's been some words said about that online by Bonnaroo fans, not from Bonnaroo itself. All right, to me, the Black Friday sale that should be coming up is going to be a big litmus test. Do you follow me here? Or should I explain?
I think you might want to explain.
Okay, so we have not officially heard anything from Bonnaroo since they told us, y'all, it's flooded. Sorry. And then y'all going to get some refunds. There hasn't been anything really since then. So I'm thinking if we hear some type of announcement next week, hey, we're going to talk about dates and Black Friday sales, and they have some promo video like they usually do, then we're like, oh, things are normal. Okay, we're about to get back into the promo schedule for 22. If it comes around Thanksgiving and we haven't heard anything from then something's up. Maybe it's time to worry a little bit. Those are my thoughts, though.
I completely agree.
Yeah. It's been months. I mean, we talked about this before. I'm not going to be negative, but I just thought like maybe they could have been a little bit more empathetic about the situation after the flood. I don't think there's any reason whatsoever to expect that there won't be another Bonnaroo next year. Kyle said it the best, Kyle the Bonnaroovian. He said, hey, third time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there will be a Bonnaroo, but like, it's curious to see if they're going to get back to the regularly scheduled program here. Like if they're actually going to use the same calendar of promotions like they have in the past.
Right.
And yeah, Black Friday is when people open up their wallets, not just for festivals, but for a little bit of everything, right?
Right.
So that's when you want to catch those sales. So if we haven't heard anything about Black Friday sales, yeah, something's rotten in Denmark. That's a Shakespeare reference, isn't it? Anyway.
I have no idea.
I think it is.
I've always heard that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would definitely, even though it's been 2 years and everything that's happened, I would still get my ticket on Black Friday without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm already prepared to put down the down payment.
Yeah, I would do the layaway plan.
What will it be? The week after next, I suppose?
Whatever. Yeah.
And I would recommend that to everyone as well, mostly because it'll save you a good chunk of money. There will be, 3, 4, maybe even 5 tiers of pricing, and this will be the absolute cheapest that you can get it. And I think when it comes to like the add-ons, like we need the RV pass. I don't think that gets cheaper, but you can go ahead and put it on your layaway plan and kind of pay it off. And I do recommend the layaway plan. It doesn't cost that much to put it on that plan. I think it's like $20 maybe, something like that. Nothing astronomical. Check me on that. I may be wrong, but it's cool because you'll put down the down payment, this month in November, and then it picks back up in January, February. $60 a month, something like that, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to recall these figures off the top of my head, so I could be wrong.
I don't remember exactly, but...
And they could change it this coming year, too.
Exactly. It can change year to year.
And I do have a sneaking suspicion that tickets will be a little bit more expensive this year, too. So that's another reason to get it early and put on that layaway plan, if they announce it. There's no reason right now to expect that they wouldn't, but if it gets to be a couple of days before Thanksgiving and we haven't heard anything... then maybe it's time to start bugging Brad and Barry and see if they can figure out anything for us. You got any thoughts?
The truth is we just don't know because they haven't said anything. They've just been so radio silent, like you said.
Yeah. I know that they had to scale back. Like Live Nation doesn't have the staff that they used to. Maybe, that probably applies to AC in Knoxville and Nashville as well. but it's not super expensive to like do a little ad campaign with a media agency or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they will need to think carefully this year about how they communicate everything. I mean, we've been burned twice now. I mean, I know these plagues aren't their fault or whatever, but twice now we've had pretty great lineups that didn't actually happen. So I feel like it would be great for them to get back with business as usual with a regularly scheduled like promotional calendar. But also, I really feel like they have to like be empathetic and say like, "Hey, this sucked. Let's see what we can do and make it right this time." You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, something else real quick. I didn't put this in our docket. Did you see that Firefly has permanently moved to the fall?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Firefly. You know, they moved to September like a lot of festivals did this past year, and now they're going to stick with September. And I saw that, and I commented on the Bonnaroo Reddit. I'm like, well, I hope Bonnaroo doesn't do that because,
I would not want that.
Yeah, it's hurricane season. It doesn't really work for a lot of people when it comes to like school schedules and stuff.
Right, a lot of people are in school at that time and can't go. But also hurricanes.
Yeah, also hurricanes. Oh, and real quick, too, there's been a lot of speculation about the dates because that hasn't really had any announcement or anything yet. I personally think, and I may be wrong, but I think it's going to be June. I'm pulling up the calendar right now. I think it's going to be the weekend of Father's Day. I think it will be the weekend after the CMA Festival in Nashville. That's something that they had started to do the past year or so because, I mean, that's two big places that a lot of equipment and people need to be at. So it made sense to do it the weekend after CMA Fest. So that, in theory, would put it on June the 16th to the 19th. Hey, June 19th is kind of like a sort of anniversary for us. That'd be cool. That's something I would recommend penciling in. Don't pin it in until we actually get it from them. But that is my sneaking suspicion that will be our dates for 22.
Or it could be the 9th through the 12th.
It could be, but I'm just saying I don't think it will be because that's going to be the weekend of the CMA Fest.
But it could be.
It could be. It's going to be one of those weekends. If I was betting $5, I'd put it on the next weekend starting on the 16th.
But it could be the 9th through the 12th.
It could be. Do you want to place a bet right now?
No.
You don't?
No.
You're not confident in the weekend of the 9th then?
No, I'm confident. I just don't want to bet on it.
Okay. Well, I would put $5 on it. I think it's going to be June 16th to 19th. And yeah, they need to let us know soon because people need to start planning their off days. Yeah. Like you're taking a new job, you got to know when to take those off days, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, with any job, you have to know, you have to calculate out your year or whatever. Some people have to like put it in like super early, so.
Yeah, I know we have a lot of people that listen and go to Bonnaroo where that's the case. So yes, we do need to know soonish.
Like at least just the dates, even just the dates right now. I mean, people need to start making their plans. So.
I expect we'll know here in a few weeks. Hopefully. If we don't, then something's up. We'll know soon.
Right.
All right, Charlotte, we do need to talk about something that is tough to talk about, but it's a big elephant in the room this week. It's sad and it's disturbing and it's awful all around, but we're recording this on the night of the 7th of November, and it was just a night or two ago that that awful incident over in Houston happened at that Travis Scott show at Astro World. I think it was yesterday morning. I woke up and I was just glancing at my phone for a little bit, and I saw that, and it was just like, it's one of those things that just guts you. Like, you look at it and you think, like, oh gosh, did this really happen? Are people exaggerating? And then I got to reading, like, you know, some of the first-hand accounts and some of the stories from reputable news services, and I was like, oh my God, this did happen. There's been a lot of conversation crop up in the past day or so since this was at a big festival. You know, a lot of us, they go to these festivals, are kind of in the same circles in one big community, and it's a tough conversation, but it's an important one and a sad one. I don't know. I've been rambling. What are your thoughts, Sharla? How did you feel when you read about it?
It's very, very sad. I mean, just seeing the ages of some of the people that unfortunately lost their lives and were, you know, were casualties. I mean, it's awful. Yeah,
it was totally unnecessary. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, but like I feel like there were a lot of different parties that contributed to that awful incident happening. It goes to show like why you have to watch out for your fellow fan in a crowd. Like, you got to be that person that helps somebody up, that notices when somebody isn't feeling good to flag a security person down or whatever. I mean, we've seen that for years at Bonnaroo, right? People tend to watch out for each other when you're at Roo.
Right. I mean, as far as I've always seen, I mean, I've never been in a crowd that's really had an issue like that, though.
Yeah, we were talking with Brooklyn about this last night, and I honestly could not think of a situation in my, 8-9 years at Bonnaroo where I genuinely felt scared being in a close crowd like that.
I've been to Bonnaroo and I've been to a few other festivals, and we were trying to think, has there ever been a situation, or what's the wildest crowd I've ever been in, or the closest contact crowd.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anything. I guess the only thing I could really think of was just trying to get from what stage over to the which stage, and just crossing that little bridge area.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It's not even at a show. It just happens to be crowded because it's a little bit of the foot traffic bottleneck. And even in that situation, people, even though it gets kind of claustrophobic and scary for a second,
people are not trampling.
Yeah.
People are not rushing or stampeding or anything like that.
They get kind of good-natured about it. Brooklyn jokes about this sometimes, but the one time it did get bad, people started trying to make it less of a scary situation by doing the Finding Nemo thing, just keep swimming.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was a cool thing that a positive crowd did to make a scary situation at least a little fun and not as scary. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This Astroworld thing, the more I read, the more I'm just disturbed. That was a scary situation being negative. There's a lot that I want to say, but I want to be careful about what I say on a podcast. But there are a lot of examples in social media right now from people talking about their experience where it was a lot of that guy or that girl at that festival. I think that's safe to say, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, some of the videos, people dancing on top of the ambulance that was trying to get people out. Guys, no. That's not the Bonnaroovian way. It's not how anybody should be at any festival, Bonnaroo or not.
That's not how anybody should be at anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a heartbreaking situation, but I hope it can serve as something that shows us hey, it reminds us we gotta watch out for one another and remember hey, we're here for the live music, but if an emergency happens, we need to cut it for a little bit and make sure everybody's safe and then come back to it safely, right?
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for the security people at Roo. We were talking about this last night too. I have noticed the security guys and ladies that are in the pit or whatever, they're looking at the crowd, and they've got bottles of water ready to hand out if anybody's starting to look kind of fainty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very careful to look out for that kind of thing. And sometimes they get a hard time because I want to take in my beer or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
But they are there to watch out for us and make sure that events like what happened at Astroworld don't happen. We have health tents where people are trained in these kind of things, and people are, they have stretchers or things to bring somebody to a health tent if worse comes to worse. And I'm thankful that these big festivals that we like to go to, like Roo or what other ones? I'm going to Okie here in a few months. I'll see how that is. But also Shaky Knees. Taco was over there. We've been there before. I'm thankful that those are professional places where security and health is clearly thought of. And I'm so sad about this. It's heartbreaking. My mind is still running about it. And I'm just thinking about everybody, that lost somebody or is going to have that hanging around in their mind for forever. Did you have any other thoughts, Sharla?
No, I just can't imagine being in that sort of situation because I've just never experienced anything like that.
It would be literal hell. Can you? I mean, you read the accounts too about how cramped it got, where people could. Maybe this is a bad metaphor, but I keep thinking of that episode of Game of Thrones where Jon Snow got caught up and he had to jump up to breathe. That literally happened for people.
Right.
It shouldn't have happened. And
I'm sure, people will write in and be like, oh, well, something has happened to me at Bonnaroo, that blah, blah, blah.
I'm not saying it can't happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it can't happen at all. But personally, I've just never experienced anything remotely like that at Bonnaroo.
It may happen, but it's rare.
I've been in multiple pits. I've been right behind the pits. I've been from the front of the stage, all the way to the back, and I've never seen anything like that.
I wish Brooklyn was here. She's traveling to go see Michael today, but she mentioned something last night that she's kind of afraid to get in a situation like that now. And I mentioned, like, when you get into the pit at the wet stage, it's actually not so bad in there. It's not so cramped. You can actually kind of hang in the back of the pit, and it's pretty.
They cap the numbers.
Yeah, you can kind of hang out in the back and dance around if you want to with plenty of space. But like that little area, like right behind the pit, it does get pretty cramped up in there. And like now that this has happened, I can't say that I'll ever go back to that area for a crowded show.
I mean, I don't know.
This will be in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate it. I'm thinking about everybody in Houston or anybody from outside of Houston that went to that show. It's a scary thing. I guess there's not that much more to say about it, right? Mm. Yeah. But yeah, thinking about you guys. Thinking about everybody, because I know it's been on all of our minds this weekend since that happened.
I've had too much to drink. Had too much time to think.
Okay, Charlotte, let's get to some more positive things. You want to talk about what we recommend this week?
Sure.
All right, do you want to kick it off or should I?
You, because I go first every time.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to be like polite and have the lady of the house go first. All right, I got 2 or 3 things here. The first one is Dune. You heard Taco and I talk about that in that little party clip earlier. But man, I was absolutely freaking blown away. Now, I have to qualify that. I'm one of these people that read 100 pages of the book and sat it down and never came back to it. And I had also never seen the David Lynch version until this past week, where I just wanted to watch it because I like the new version so much. But, if things had been a little bit different, I might have been obsessed with Dune books as opposed to Lord of the Rings books, because I remember my senior year of high school, our literature teacher, Miss Townsend, you remember her?
Yes.
She had bought a bunch of books that she was giving out to kids, and she gave me the choice between Lord of the Rings and Dune. And I chose Lord of the Rings, and that forever altered my destiny. But I could have chosen Dune, so I could have been one of these people obsessed with those books. So this was kind of a glimpse into an alternative timeline for me. And man, I definitely would have loved it. It's kind of like the OG when it comes to these kind of stories. Like Star Wars stole from it. So many other stories stole from it. The way that it's presented in this movie is amazing. The production design is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. It's rare that I come out of the movie and I'm just like, oh my God, this is a game changer. Yeah, this is one of those. And I'm so glad that part 2 got greenlit. I'm so excited about that. I hear that Taco and I may be having a call to discuss this in more length on a future episode.
Wow.
He was talking me into that. Oh yeah, he is very much a scholar of Dune. He has read literally everything, it seems like.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were talking about it at the party and stuff. I'll give you 2 other quick things. We watched this movie called Finch on Apple TV the other day. It's a new thing with Tom Hanks. Basically only Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks and a robot and a dog. That was basically it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites because a little sad, but it was still fun and cool. Really enjoyed that. And another thing real quick, I have been playing a new video game, Metroid Dread on Nintendo Switch. I love these Metroid games, and this one is kind of like a throwback. It's another 2D game, but there's so much fun stuff happening in that. Really been enjoying that. But yeah, Dune, can't say enough good things about, and I think we'll talk to Taco soon since he is such a gentleman and a scholar when it comes to those things. All right, now I'm going to go to you, Charlotte. What do you got this week?
Okay, so I was actually going to talk about Finch.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me.
So like Daniel said, it's not the greatest movie of all time. It is a Tom Hanks movie, and it's not even going to be my favorite Tom Hanks movie, but it's definitely worth a watch. It was definitely this lighthearted movie. It's a good family movie. Just very, very good movie overall.
Without giving too much away, it was basically Tom Hanks plays Wall-E.
Yeah,
from the Pixar movie.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's a Wall-E with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Definitely check that out. Especially if you like Tom Hanks, you'll really like this.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, really. Well, I can name one person that doesn't, but
that's a whole other story. Let's not go there.
Anyways, so the second thing I wanted to mention is, so we were just flipping through movies the other night, and I was just flipping through stuff on HBO Max or whatever, and there's a movie that came out a few years ago with Charlize Theron called Tully. and I had never seen it before. And I was like, oh, how about this? And so it ended up being a really good movie. And it was surprisingly, it was not at all what I thought it was going to be about. It's actually a movie about mental health, and it was very, very, very good. It's kind of a movie about marriage and about mental health. I don't want to give it away, but it's really, really, really good. And I think it's a very good kind of a women's empowerment kind of movie.
Yeah. Did you notice it was kind of like basically side B to young adult?
Yeah.
It's like the same writer, same director, same star.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So if you've seen young adult, you this is the side B of it. I mean, it really is. Very good point, Daniel. And it's just really, really good. I mean, really, really good. If you like watching movies about mental health and things like that, you'll really like this. It came out a few years ago. Again, Tully is the name of it.
I've always had a crush on Charlize Theron, so I was okay with this.
I mean, who doesn't love Charlize Theron?
We had like a double feature. We watched Prometheus after that.
Yeah.
With two very different roles for her. Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, so everybody's heard of the dating app Bumble. So there's this other part on the app. It's called Bumble BFF. And I actually used it about 3 years ago. I guess it's been about 3 years now. And I actually met I used Bumble BFF, and I actually met this like really, really awesome group of friends. And we would go like play trivia once a week. And I mean, we hung out just like all the time. I mean, we had a trivia group, and we would go to each other's houses, and we had a Christmas party. And I mean, we just had all kinds of fun. And unfortunately, we kind of fell out during the pandemic. But I mean, that was, just such a good way to like meet friends as an adult. And so I decided recently to pick it up again. And I was like, oh, let me just see, what's out there, because when you're an adult, when you get, I do have all my Roo friends and stuff, but a lot of people live like far away. So it's hard to connect with a lot of local people. So I tried Bumble BFF again, and just within a few days, I met someone on there, and we went out and had drinks. And it's a lady that's about my age, and she's super cool. She was a scientist, and just, super cool person. And you can
a scientist in Huntsville, you don't say.
Yeah, exactly. Shocker. But just super, super cool. You can match with people based on your interest. It's just like the dating app, but it's for friends. So it's a really, really super cool way to make friends as an adult. I think it's mostly used by females, but males can use it as well. I think the lady told me that her husband had even used it before. Not, in a creepy way or anything, just to meet dude friends.
What was that? There's like an app that's very similar to what you're talking about. That's basically for festivals.
Right. Radiate.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah. There's still some people on there looking for hookups and stuff, but I feel like there was mostly people just looking for festy buddies on that too. It's kind of similar to what you're talking about. Sorry, that just popped in my head.
But yeah, Bumble BFF. It's really cool. Like I said, I had a really, really great, friend group on there from before. We just kind of fell out during the pandemic, but it's just super, super cool. So if you're looking to make friends, as an adult, locally, in your area, highly, highly recommended.
Oh, hey, one other thing that just popped in my mind. Speaking of making friends, if anybody is in the Louisville, Kentucky area, Charlie and I are going to be up there for a few nights the weekend after Thanksgiving. Be kind of fun to have like a meet up and have a drink. What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah. Drop us a line if you're interested. I think we're going to hang with our buddy Joe up there for a little bit with all the Kentucky bourbon. Is that your favorite thing in Kentucky?
Oh, that and the horse racing.
The horse racing. Oh, man. I was talking with a buddy about this earlier. We did this a couple of years ago. So, like the Kentucky Derby. Everybody has seen that on TV or whatever. Like, you see all the celebrities at this, and it costs, like, thousands of dollars to get in or whatever. They do this cool thing, like, the weekend after Thanksgiving in Louisville, where it's basically the cheap Kentucky Derby, where you can get in for, like, $6 or $7, get a mint julep for $5.
Yes.
This is what Charlotte decided that she wanted to do. I'm like, yes, I will.
Yeah.
I also enjoy bourbon.
No, Louisville's a great city. Seriously. You can just go do all the bourbon tours, and It's really fun.
I'm excited to go to the Louisville Slugger Museum to go full circle and bring it back to baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, one other thing that we need to talk about before we start to sign off is our Patreon. We had paused it. There may have been a hiccup. I want to let those of you know that if something came out, we're going to make a holiday timed donation to the Bonnaroo Works Fund. We'll post a little something to let you know about that. But I think we're going to punt and start in the new year in 22 with a new promotion from the Roo Bus for the Patreon. Charlotte and I haven't completely decided yet, but I would like to be using it to mostly continue to make a good donation to the Bonnaroo Works Fund, but also do something fun for our party at the Roo Bus this year.
Well, yeah.
The one that just got delayed. We were going to have it. We'll have Get Weird at this one. Whatever else happens to crop up, we'll have there. But if you're interested in being a Patreon when we start at 22, I think that will be the secondary goal, apart from making the big donation to the Bonnaroo Works Fund.
Yeah, I have something in mind.
You do? Do you want to save an announcement for later, or you want to tell?
Oh, no, I'm going to say it's a surprise.
Okay. All right. A surprise to come from Charlotte. All right, guys. We're going to perhaps take another week or two break since Thanksgiving has come up, but we want to get a little something out. When we return, we'll have guests again, and hopefully we will be talking about the new dates, the Black Friday sale, and maybe some other fun stuff that they put out. Anything else you can think of, Charlotte?
No, that's about it.
No? Okay. Drop us a line if you're in the Louisville area. We'd love to hang the Saturday night after Thanksgiving if you want to come get a bourbon or whatever with us. Maybe it'll be a party like we had in the garage for Halloween a couple days ago. That clip was so funny. She had not heard that until I played it just now for a few moments ago. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it for us for this week. Hope everybody's doing well. We've been taking a little break from Roo Bus stuff because it's kind of the off season for festivals, and baseball got in the way, and we've been distracted with some other stuff. But good to talk to you guys. We'll probably be a little bit more active on social before too long, since it's going to be lineup season before too long, probably about 2 months from now. Can you believe that? 2 months from now, we'll probably have a lineup. Yeah. That's crazy. I hadn't really considered that. All right, well, we'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, get out there and radiate positivity. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.